the best year yet. I'm just going to do a quick sound check. If you're watching this live, just comment, hit 5. If you're watching this on replay, hit 8 because you're late. Cannot see that I'm live right now, but I think it's just popped up. Awesome. I want to talk to you about the year of promises. I've touched on this inside the MYM Club. This is not about promises to other people, but actually internally to yourself, because you're going to find so much happiness, energy, fulfillment, and results ultimately, especially if you're looking to lose weight in 2024, and being able to hold yourself to accountability. So when you say internally that you're going to do something, let's say it's a New Year's resolution, if I want to lose 5 kilos or whatever it is, a lot of the reasons that people fail is because they don't really believe it. Sometimes it's the approach, sometimes it's it is the methodology, sometimes it's a bit of willpower, but a lot of the time is they just have no self-belief, right? So whenever we're talking to our clients, it doesn't matter what comes up, what's on their to-do list for the day, their non-negotiables, their day plan, or how their energy is. We recommend you get that thing done, right? And I want to make it practical today, give you 2 things to think about, because things that you can do that are along the lines of setting promises to yourself, things that are going to move the needle forward if you were to put them onto your to-do list for the day, and how to plan your weeks ahead in 2024 to get the most out of it. That's what I want to talk about today, right? And it all comes. I came across this a couple of years ago. I read it inside a book. I talked to our clients about this, and if things aren't if energy levels, if your weight isn't where it needs to be right now, this will be gold for you. And the reason why, it's because I think I'm going to give you some actionable stuff that you can hit the ground running with today. There is, internally, there is some level of confidence that's floating around, good or bad. If you've been struggling to lose weight for, let's say, 5 years, then your self-confidence in your ability to lose that weight is going to be challenged. It's going to be low, right? But this is where I think it changes for you. This has got to be the year, this has got to be the month, this has got to be the week where this changes. So this time, if you put something onto your to-do list for the day, your day plan or your weekly plan, however you plan your weeks, and it doesn't get done, you're going to start to doubt yourself. Whenever you start to write your next, I'm going to do this again, next week I'm going to put this on the plan, you're going to start to not really believe that you have the what would I say? Not willpower, but the guts to do it all, really. And this is why we see a lot of women that we speak to failing with their weight loss journey, right? Because not only do you fail, right, or you not believe that you're going to do it, but you give yourself excuses that also makes you feel terrible about yourself. So it affects your energy levels, it affects your happiness, it affects your fulfillment in general in yourself. And by simply setting promises to yourself and keeping those promises, honestly, it just changes everything about that initial 24 hours. It changes the amount of things that you get done. It changes the results that you get, the weight loss you get, the fulfillment from that, the happiness that you get, the energy levels, the confidence in yourself, the way that you view yourself as well. The many different things are affected by setting promises to yourself internally and actually seeing them through. And it's not just about setting promises to other people and holding those promises, but the promises that you hold within yourself and making sure that you fulfill them. And this is where it gets juicy for you, right? Because I like to think I've made this quite practical, come up with a few things, and they are kind of sort of across the board. It's not just about hitting your meals. Make sure if you plan your meals or whatever, hit calories, whatever that is, it's specifically about keeping, it's not specifically about keeping promises to yourself either. It's kind of across everything I've just kind of mentioned. And here's kind of 5 quick fire things, practical hacks that you can think about in terms of keeping promises to yourself. So, I want you to make 2024. I want you to make great things happen. I want you to, feel the best you've ever felt, feel as sexy as you want to feel, accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And from this sort of mentality has seen us, build MYM, and it's going on to its 6th year now. It's been a game changer for us, right? And it takes not long, not long to do. But here's my initial thought, right? If you've got something on your to-do list that is going to take less than 15 minutes, and let's say it's a bullet point that's lingering on that day plan, you're like, oh, I need to do that. Just get up and do it, right? So I'm pretty sure this was in Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, I think it is, the book. But if you see a job that is to do on your tasks for the week that, let's say we set you inside the MWM club, your non-negotiables, that's less than 15 minutes, just tick it off. It's going to take literally 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes. If it's something like ring the accountant or something, or just put the washing on, or ring the guy to fix the fence, or you need to get back to someone, that might not be actually on your plan with us, but you need to get back to that person. You will. There's a plethora of these little jobs that are lingering around. Whether inside your fitness or health journey realm or outside in your sort of life, that if it's less than 15 minutes, don't think about how you feel, whether you want to do it or not. If it's less than 15 minutes, just take the first step towards getting that done. All right? Get it done, get it out of your mind, put it to the side. You're going to feel fulfillment from the action. And second of all, you won't have to think about something that's been lingering in the back of your mind for a couple of days and making you feel like you're feeling behind. So if it's less than 15 minutes, take that first step, get it done, tick it off, cross it off the list, get it out of the mind, and done. So number 2 is, if it's stressing you out, something is stressing you out, do not take downtime and sort of try and work your thoughts through it, because I think that's counteractive part that's stressing you out. Like attacking it with focus and moving towards the result of completion, or if it's a weight loss thing, obviously you're not going to lose 10 kilos in a day, but moving towards that end result is going to be the thing that's going to alleviate some of that stress. Jeff Bezos was talking about this on an interview a few years ago. Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, by the way, if you're not aware. So he was talking about how he asked, how your stress levels. You're running the biggest company in the world, the richest man in the world. You've got all these pressures, you've got all these projects. You're running Blue Origin, trying to get to space and stuff. And the interviewer was like, you must be so stressed. And he's like, actually, not really stressed at all. And something that he noticed about stress was that there's lots of busy people, and lots of people think the stress comes from being busy, but there's lots of busy people that aren't stressed. And so the difference is, he believes that stress comes from something that needs to be fixed, needs to be solved, needs to be done, but you're not taking action towards that. You're avoiding it. So if there's something in your health and fitness journey that's stressing you out, let's say you're 10 kilos overweight and you've been 10 kilos overweight and you've been struggling for a while, then the number one thing that you have to address is probably your nutrition. Second close to that would be NEAT levels. Could be sleep. There's something in there initially that you're not addressing. There's initial resistance, might be a lot of resistance around it. You're putting it off, you're pushing it further down your week. And obviously these weeks turn into months. And hey, it's just constantly lingering in the back of your mind, just challenging your confidence, just impacting your self-confidence. So why not, as Brian Tracy says, eat that frog, get it done, get it out of the way, focus on it and get it done. We found the same thing when, we've got a really big project, we've got these ideas floating through our head about our program that, we want to create next, for you here right now. We've got, me and Via sort of got some modules we need to record for the challenge, the 5-day challenge that we're bringing back. And, we want to fully just get that out there. And it feels like it's so overwhelming. We've got all these videos to do over this sort of time period. But the one thing for me to get out of my mind was not to have it sit as, let's say I don't know how many videos it is. Let's say it's 10 videos. It's not to have, say, 10 videos that need to be recorded and scripted and stuff like that. It's like what can we do to make inroads on that, rather than just having sitting there and just like, you know, not making any progress to that. So the thing is, maybe we would just record one every day, one video every day, or script one video every day. You know, and then what we're doing is we're not sitting with something that's completely untouched, because that's going to lead to stress. We're not making any progress on that. We haven't recorded this, this, and this, and this. We know that it needs to get done. We know it's a big project. We know it's something that we don't want to avoid. And now it's so great. It's a 5-day challenge. We want to get it in your hands for a start, but you know, can't avoid it. It's not done now, but it's not stressing us out as much because we're making progress towards it. Right? We don't need to complete it immediately. Right? And you just need a little bit of action towards that goal. So instead of avoiding it and just putting it off, we'll just do a 5-day challenge in March, right? We say, you know, maybe like, hey, let's get this done in the next 7 days' time, right? So we've already started to build it. We've already started to build the plan out. You know, for example, inside our program, we're rebuilding our curriculum. Right? Sometimes one of the first things that we do when there's a new module that we want to talk about, mindset, CBT therapy, whatever it is, it's not just sitting as a bullet point that is completely untouched. We've got a framework around it. We've got right, and now we've got that framework. Now, if we put some pieces together, we're not at 0% of the project done. We're at 23% of the project done, and now it's kind of off the mind until the next moment in which we go, okay, we need to tackle this a bit further now. All right. So if it's stressing you out, do not take downtime trying to avoid it. Instead, identify what it is that the thing is that you need to get done, and that you're feeling resistance about, because you're avoiding that because of the resistance and pushing it further on down. You're kicking the can down the road. You're pushing it further down the week, further down the month, and saying, I'll get to it down the line, right? Attack it head on. Make it the thing that you prioritize, so that by like, hey, you know, that just doesn't take the stress away, by the way, but you're going to feel far better. You're going to feel incredible, actually, when there's that thing that you've been avoiding, when you've got it done. You're going to feel absolutely incredible on the other side. All right. Number 3 is allocate part of your morning when there's not a lot of noise from the world that are going to move the needle positively on your journey. If it's weight loss, it could be NEAT. It could be your steps. If it's exercise, if it's run a 5K, it could be your training or recovery to that. If it's you've got an Achilles injury, it could be rehab that's going to help you walk properly, right? These are things that could be on your blueprint inside our program, or indeed it can be just simple action builders that are simply like planning your meals for the week, doing the morning pages, which is a type of journaling we discuss in the program, which is an AM type journaling, right? And if you've done a meal plan today, why not spend 5 minutes a day discussing about the positive things that you're noticing on your journey? I've lost 5 kilos. I'm actually getting far more energy here. These trousers haven't fit me for a while. Because part of your blueprints that we give you are about building the foundation and creating this new identity. Part of the non-negotiables and your approaches are about taking action and then directness towards that version of yourself. And I personally feel you should probably prioritize in your AM, at least part of the AM, around strategies that are more you focused, not just about building this foundation, but actually prioritization to yourself. Put your own oxygen mask on first. Now, I've given you a few examples. They're the simplest ones, and they're not really that challenging. But the next one, I think, is plan your week ahead on sort of I like to do it Friday. We like to do it Fridays, and we don't overwhelm then, right? It's like a 2-part thing, this, because you hear a lot of people say, productive people, success, they plan the day before. Honestly, if I planned the day before, I know it would be so unbelievably stressed going into any particular week. I need to know how sort of the week is planning out. Viola's even more so like that. And I need to know what next week looks like. So sort of Friday, we kind of flesh it all out. I don't want to do anything planning on Saturday and Sunday. I want to be able to wake up on a Sunday to go for a coffee and a walk. I like to walk into the weekend crystal clear on what the goals are for the next week, what the action steps are, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what we're going to be doing, what's Viola's task for this week. I know when we've got allocation of times. So if we plan it out the Friday before, if something comes up, like we had Aiden had surgery, which is, we haven't allocated, but we're able to, we know exactly what goes into our week. Okay, we can fit this in here. This is where we're going to be able to pop his recovery and spend a bit of time with him. You know, I'm going to record this. When we record our Monday mindset podcasts, I know when we're going to be doing it. I've got stuff that's already allocated. It doesn't come as a shock. It's already allocated. So I know it's coming up. I can build the week around that. And that's inside the diary. There's also, we have, when we do calls to new people that are coming onto the program, we have the availability that we're only going to take calls this and this. We don't take calls after a certain time in the evening, right? There's a formula to it, and it works well with our life, and it becomes part of a routine. So I know when I'm going to potentially have calls. I know when we do a coaching calls, and those are the times that I'm not going into every day going, oh, what's on for the day? I know what's ahead, and that's how I sort of like you to structure your day. Because if you don't plan ahead, then you're going to be far more reactive than proactive. Because there's going to come a time and life is going to throw a spanner in the works. And if you've got some level of routine, it's going to give you some stability. And the final part that I mentioned is that I suppose overwhelm is one of the biggest things that we face in the women that we speak to. And I also am a stickler for just packing loads of shit on my to-do list for the day. I'm the type of person, I'm always trying to get as much done as humanly possible, sort of be really efficient, working hard. And I always put an inordinate amount of work on the to-do list and the weekly plan, and it's just physically impossible. So I'd get like 80% done, 85% done, 95% done, but I don't get that good feeling of, everything's done, because I didn't complete everything. I didn't tick that final box. So I feel like I've failed. So I've had to kind of pull it back and go, okay, let's do this. And if there's more time allocated, then I can tick some other stuff on, but I've completed what I've set out to do. And this is the same thing with our non-negotiables day to day. All right. If some of you have 6 things, some of you have 2 things, you need to be where you're at right now. Right. So our goal with that is to build your confidence. Of course, it's to get results. But if we put 6 on, and you do 2, how's that going to impact your confidence? Well, I never got around to that. I never got around to that, Dean. Never got around to that, V. So if we take that, let's say 50% off of that day plan, right? So now you've only got those 2 things, maybe a third thing. You're able to actually do it and then go, oh my gosh, I actually achieved that. So you can then start to build around that as a foundation and go, okay, I can nail this. Now what's next? What's the next one? You start to feel fulfilled. And like I said right before, right? When you complete something, you keep that promise to yourself. It creates so much momentum. It creates so much energy, happiness, fulfillment. But that key word, momentum. If you take a bit off of your to-dos for the day, you're more likely to hit that original target and complete 100%. Why? Because when there's hundreds of things that you need to do, it's overwhelming, it's stressful, it's easy to go, fuck this off. I'm going to go and sit on the couch, I'm going to watch Netflix, I'm going to go and do this, I'm going to go for a walk, whatever it is, but you're purposely avoiding scroll TikTok and doom scroll. You're purposely going, if you do it like this, with taking things off you to do, you're going, hey, I need to take care of myself. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So you shorten it. Let's say you shorten what you need to do for the day, and they're more focused on less things, but they're very high priority tasks. And then you find, I'm able to tick the boxes at boom, boom, boom. So it creates so much momentum and energy that you want to do additional things. You're like, bloody hell, got completed all this at like 11 a.m. full of energy. This is great. And now you can go, all right, cool. The rest of the day, what I'm going to do? I might tick off a few things, or I might go, you know what? I've nailed it. Tuesday's a new day. And I'm going to add one more thing for Tuesday. So you start to create this crazy momentum, and the action taking and outcomes. They then start to plan your weeks ahead. Like if you're speaking to us, it's just like, so Nicola, for example, she won't mind me. I chatted to her this morning, but we're focusing on 2 things initially, right? And once we nail those 2 things, it's like, okay, cool. That's her success, or her let's say she wasn't able to hit it, is gonna plan the weeks ahead, because we're going to be going, okay, we couldn't hit those 2 things, this is what we need to change. Or you absolutely smashed it, this is what we need to change for next week. So it start to plan ahead. Her success off the back of hitting those two things, starts to plan her weeks ahead. So we're not overwhelming, right, what we need to do with her and with everybody, because the volume of things that you need to do in the next few days, if you think about them all, it seems borderline impossible. You're like, fuck, okay, I need to remove something from it. I need to be able to sleep well. I need to be able to get up with energy. I need to be able to hydrate. Like, it seems, it's so much. Taking a few things off makes it far more achievable. It feels that if you feel when looking at your training, whatever, that it's unachievable from the minute you look at it, you're scrolling through on your app, you're like, it's going to be an absolute slog. Like, in the entire, if that is the way you want to run things in the entirety of 2024 for your health and fitness, it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be a tough year. If you can actually get an immense amount of stuff done, tons of momentum, happiness, fulfillment, all of those things, by taking something away from your and reducing that overwhelm, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a game changer. Make promises. My last thing is, I think, make promises to people around you, not just yourself, right? And this it could be family, it could be friends. Where you're going to be at what times. Oh, I'll be at the gym at this time, or we're going for a walk at this time. What are you going to do? Keep promises to people around you as well. If you say you're going to be somewhere to meet somebody for something, don't cancel unless there's a really valid reason, like you're sick or something, because it is going to affect everything within your energy, within your happiness, within your fulfillment, as well as directly impacting you as an individual. You're going to feel like the person that says they're actually going to do what they said they're going to do, and they're actually going to follow through on all of the things that you said you're going to do. You're going to be a completely different level when it comes to creating energy, happiness, the fulfillment that we've talked about. So hopefully, I think they're quite practical, those things I've talked about. I know that I've sort of come from a few different angles. It's kind of like throwing different things together, but altogether, they're there to achieve the same goal. Ultimately, they're coming at it from different angles. So, like I say, some of them are going to really resonate with you. And if some have gone like, fuck, that was so awesome, I really, I definitely love that one, do let us know. Because, for it, we want to know, obviously, what's really, really helping you. But, some of you might need to hear number 2. And like, oh my God, that's completely changed me. Like, reducing that overwhelm's completely changed what it is. And as always, like, it's about leaning on each other. Ultimately, like, we're doing these to help you. So we want to know if this is resonating. Just let us know. And I think these like, this will go up on our podcast. But I think these are game changers. Looking at the week with intention. Seeing out the year with some epic results. We've already started the year off with some fantastic results. But why are the results that we get in the MYM Club so successful? It's because the feedback, we're doing something, we're testing it, and we're going, okay, what do you think? What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Like, we're constantly getting feedback. And, this is what it's all about. So this will go up on our podcast. We'll have a look if anyone is live. Oh, Sharon. Okay, awesome. But yeah, I really appreciate you tuning in. And here's to an amazing 2020.